Hey, and thank you for clicking play. This is the first eBay purchase, and essentially we're looking at two Amiga games, Frontier Elite 2 and Armageddon. Armageddon costing me about £17, so just over the 30 Australian dollar mark, and Frontier Elite 2, being marked as complete, cost £25 or around $50. Now, the only question I had from the seller, other than are you willing to combine postage, which he was do you have the star map for Frontier? Because I couldn't see it in any of the photos, and the swift reply was, sorry mate, it's just what you see in the photos. Okay, so let's take a closer look at these two, and I think we'll start off with Armageddon. So again, both for the Amiga, we just double check. Condition of the outer box, pretty good. Except it is a bit flattened, so I will have to have a bit of a go at trying to retain a bit of re-give it a bit of shape. It's not too bad. You will notice, and it is a common thing with these sleeves, see that's come away there. So I think one of the first things we can do is rectify that. So I'm just going to grab one of these. Just want to give that a bit of a clean up there, and along there. Yep. And then got some of the wife's double-sided craft sticky tape here. There we go. Pair of the wife's craft scissors. I can never do double-sided tape, I have to say. It just doesn't work for me. Just going to stick that on there. Not being too precious about this. It's just got to do a better job than the residue that we're left with from the last time it had double-sided sticky tape on it. And of course, just to make sure we retain the shape, I'm keeping the original box in there. And there we go. So that's fixed. Easy peasy. Hopefully it's not too tight. No, it's good. Alright, so that's fixed already. Just going to give it a quick wipe over. It is a bit dusty. We'll talk more about that when we look at the next one. I'm just sort of really wiping this because this is an alcohol wipe, so I just want to give it a quick light brushing rather than let the alcohol seep in. Okay, right, that's that. Front of the box, beautiful design, always with Psygnosis. Armageddon, if you're not familiar with it, it looks like a bit of a flight sim or a tank sim, and it's sort of everything. You've got helicopters, you've got jets, and you've got tanks and all sorts, and you've got research and development, you've got resource management. And so really it's sort of a strategy game as much as it is a sort of futuristic flight and combat simulator. And a bit like Carrier Command, I guess, in some ways, where you're sort of going against an opponent either virtual in terms of the built-in AI in the main campaign, or you can do it multiplayer as well. So what did I get in the box for my money? Well, first and foremost, and this is why I grabbed it, that's clearly the original inner box as well, with that beautiful Psygnosis logo. This doesn't need any cleaning at all. When you compare the sheen on this to that copy of Shadow the Beast 2 that I got, this is, even though there's a bit of misshaping to this box, I'm confident I can push that out. It is in beautiful, beautiful condition in terms of the sheen. Inside, we have everything that was pictured and everything I'd expect. Now, the only other thing I would, question in my own head is this several complete sets matched up? Because was disc 3 always a separate color? I've seen this listed where they're all the same color, where they're different colors, where they're all white, they're all blue. I don't care. I really don't care. None of these are write protected, so that's interesting. So I just hope it's the original data and not a cracked version written back to discs. We shall see when just going to right protect those now. We shall see when I first fire it up in a future episode. But look, as I've said before, I'm not going to go crazy about working copies anymore. Be nice if it works, but if not, I've got it on ADF. I've even got it installed on the A1200 on the hard drive. We've got an original guarantee card, warranty sign-up card. We have the original keyboard overlay. That one would be French, I assume. There we go. That's not a keyboard overlay, is it? It's just a key map, and they're different translations. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm interested to see, yes, okay, it does say English. Got a story about that when I do a separate episode on this game. But there's the manual, and there we go, and there's the inner again with that beautiful owl logo. So that, for the money I paid, keeping in mind this was the cheaper of the two, I think that's beautiful. I'm very happy with that, and I'm confident, we can bring, I'm going to put that at the top there. I'm confident we can bring that box back up to shape, and even if we can't, really not fussed. Part of the story of the game. Hopefully it works, but again, if it doesn't, whatever. The market's gone a bit crazy, and to me, this brings back the memories. That right there brings back the memories, and that is all that's required. Let's have a look at the next one. So, Frontier Elite 2, as I said, this to me was a PC game, but just felt I had to grab it. I will grab the PC version when I see it come up for a good price as well. But I don't know if you can spot it there. One of the bits of feedback from another buyer of this particular eBay seller, and I thought it was a strange bit of feedback, was, and he was buying PlayStation games or something, or maybe even Xbox games, and part of his feedback was they're incredibly dusty. It doesn't take much to wipe your stuff down. Armageddon seemed fine, but this was actually incredibly dusty. I don't know where it's been sitting around or for how long, but yeah, it really does take nothing. Look, 2 seconds before you send something out, mate. Just that makes all the difference. If this had arrived like this, rather than feeling like I've got all the plagues of Europe in my post, it seriously is a big impact, especially in current times. So that really was a little bit crusty, mate. I gotta say, if you ever end up watching this, which I doubt you will, the seller I don't think is certainly not Amiga specific, and I don't think he's even computer game specific. He sells toys and all sorts. So I think some of these sellers, look, they're busy and they just don't have the time at the end of the day. Prices were okay. He sent the stuff out in super quick time and they arrived. That's 3 main boxes ticked for me. Let's see what's inside. So let's have a look at the box first of all. Beautiful, beautiful graphics and artwork, as always. Amiga version, PC version, Amiga version. You guys are familiar with this. Sorry that the sheen was on that at the time. What a game, what a game. I mean, the first Elite was obviously an all-time classic. BBC Micro, Acorn Electron, pretty much every single system it's been ported to, hasn't it? I had it on the Amiga, but I didn't really play it that much, and I think I had a pirated copy, but I certainly bought this full version on the PC. And I'm actually a big fan of the one that follows it, which is First Encounters. Let's have a look inside. We got some things written down here, which for the price I paid for the game, that's a bit of a disappointment, but not a big one. I have to work out what they actually are. Are they keyboard controls? Not sure. Interesting. Codes maybe for getting into the game, so you don't have to look at the manual, maybe. Right, so we've got program disc 1 for the Amiga and program disc 2. These are write protected. English version, Amiga data disc. Fantastic. And this is a good sign. We have backup discs in inverted commas. I say this is a good sign. That to me, well, it could say one or two things. It could say that these are junk and this is somebody's way of fixing that problem, which some sellers do. Or it could be that the original owner backed up the game discs before playing, which a lot of games encourage you to do. So maybe it's that. What I've also got here is Frontier Elite 2 from CU Amiga. I'm not sure if that's a demo or a patch. Can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Maybe a patch, whatever, but somebody's seen it as useful to put it in this box, so that's great. Let's have a look at the contents of the box, shall we? Let's keep things in shot here. First of all, we've got Stories of Life on the Frontier. How many of you actually bothered to read this? I love this, and I actually can't wait to lend this to my son, Luke, who loves science fiction books, mainly from the Star Wars Extended Universe, but all sorts of science fiction books. And is also a science fiction writer in his own right, and has done quite well in terms of a literary competition that was run over here. And he's had several offers of co-publication, but he's looking out for an all right offer to publicise his first book, so that's good. The Stories of Life on the Frontier, and I wanted to make sure this was included, is essentially a series of short stories which go towards helping you follow the correct path to follow the story in this game. Not that there's a story that you necessarily have to follow, but they're just really actually interesting little stories set in the Elite 2 Frontier universe. Gazetteer, I don't remember reading that much of this back in the day, but essentially gives you good background information as to the different factions and all that kind of stuff, and sort of political situation. So that's that. These feel okay, not too dusty. This looks like it's seen some it's seen some action. This has got some marks there. But that's the main manual, obviously, as well, which you need. And I believe this is code locked, this game, isn't it? Where you have to enter a code from the manual to launch the game. A little bit of discolouring on the edge there, but other than that, that's in pretty good condition. Bit weird how the condition is a bit inconsistent, but that may have sat out on somebody's desk for playing, whereas the other two potentially just got put back in the box. What else we got here? We've got... Oh, that's like resources, isn't it? I can't remember. Again, not got my glasses on. Icon summary. Okay, so yeah, shortcut of what the different icons mean and the hierarchy to the menu and instructions on running the game. Look at that, Game Tech. Long time since I've seen that logo. Well, other than on this box. Fantastic. And we've got this. I'm purposely leaving this folded bit of paper that I mentioned at the beginning, because I did say there was a random bit of paper in view. So all of this was unpacked and in view in photos on the listing. And this random bit of folded paper, which is this. And when I asked him, do you have the star map? He said, sorry, mate, it's only what you see in the photos. And this was certainly not pictured. Let's have a look. Because when this arrived, this was the first thing I wanted to check. Is this the star map? Or is it just something random? Some random piece of... Look at that. You knew it would be here, didn't you? Look at that. Look at that. Now, I have bought... Don't rip it, Chris. Don't you dare rip it. Don't you be the one to do it. Oh, look. And again, I had the PC version, but this went on my wall next to my PC and was referenced frequently. Oh, I love it. That is fantastic. I have actually bought a frame for that to go in, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a tight fit because this isn't a proper size. I thought it was A1, but it's actually not. It's a tiny bit wider, which is going to be a problem, and it's thinner that way. So that way is not a problem because I'll leave the freeze in the frame that came with the frame. But if it's too fat the other way, that's going to be a rock for my back. But anyway, if I can mount this in the frame that I've got, this is going on the wall, framed to preserve it, and then obviously it will form part of this collection going forward. Really, really, really pleased. That is 100% complete. And there we have it. So, I don't know if you can tell there, but that's in a frame. That is happily in a frame. And if I just give a bit of a pan around, there you go, you can see the edge of the frame. So there's the freeze showing up. It's just a cheap frame, but it does the job. And there's the game. So look, really happy with those two. So look out for some gameplay videos coming up this year. Thanks for watching. Cheers.